We're going old school today, doing it by hand. I'll show you how to calculate your retirement number by hand. Yeah, you've seen the commercials asking, what's yours? Financial advisors want to figure it out for you. Sure, there's all kinds of fancy calculators online that'll do it for you. Some good, some not so, and some that are more complicated and confusing than it's worth. And there's something about just doing it yourself on a yellow pad, or a cocktail napkin if you're still hanging at the roadhouse, or like my mom, on the back of an envelope, usually an envelope from the bank or power company. And she wrote in beautiful, flowing cursive, a seemingly lost art, but hey, it looks like at least 25 states are making cursive instruction mandatory. When you calculate your retirement number by hand, you have to show your work to yourself. The beauty of that is that you develop an understanding of the concepts behind your retirement number. You didn't outsource that work to some online calculator that does its work behind the scenes. All right, here's how you do it. Get your Pilot G210 pen and Amazon Basics yellow pad ready. Pop your favorite pod into the coffee maker. French roast here. Clear the breakfast nook while it's brewing, then settle in. All right, first, let's leave Social Security out of this for now. Yeah, it might play a big role in your plan, but we're just looking at your number as it pertains to your investments for now. Same with any pensions. Leave them out. We can add those back in later if we need to. Next, write down what you expect your monthly expenses to be in your first year of retirement. How am I supposed to know that, you say? You estimate it. It doesn't have to be exact. If you're living off $5,000 a month now while you're working, are any expenses really going away just because you don't have a paycheck? Then $5,000 it is. Do your best to estimate it. We're just trying to see if you're on the right airline. Doesn't have to be on the right flight yet. Now multiply that number by 12, and that's your annual expense expectation. That's the amount you'll need to generate the first year you retire. And you're generating it without a paycheck. It's coming from your big old bucket of savings and investments. How big does your big old bucket need to be? We're going to do what's called capitalize the number to find out. Let's stick with our $5,000 monthly expense scenario. That's $60,000 a year. What lump sum do we need to generate $60,000 a year? For our example, we'll assume we're sticking to the 4% rule. That's the popular and often controversial rule of thumb that says you can safely withdraw 4% of your savings during the first year of retirement and then adjust for inflation every year thereafter. We'll look at the details of the 4% rule in another episode. Right now, we're using it to figure out our retirement number. If we need $60,000, what lump sum is $60,000 4% of? Or, what size bucket of money do we need to start with so that we can take out 4% and it equals $60,000? Here's your yellow pad math. The desired annual income is divided by 4% to get the lump sum or retirement number. $60,000 divided by 0.04 equals $1,500,000. If you remember how to do the long division, have at it. I'll probably use a somewhat old-fashioned handheld calculator to do mine. And it doesn't have to be a financial calculator that accounts for the time value of money. We're not doing that here. We're going for the quick and easy estimate. What if your annual expenses are more like $100,000? All right, $100,000 divided by 0.04, and you have $2.5 million. You can play around with the desired annual income amount and the 4%. Maybe 4% is too conservative for you. Try it with 4.5%, 4 or 5%. Let's say you do want to include your Social Security in figuring out what your retirement number is. If you need $100,000 to live on and your Social Security benefit will be $30,000, well, Then your desired annual income from your savings and investments will be $70,000. $70,000 divided by 0.04 equals $1,750,000. You can see how running a few of these calculations gets your mind wrapped around the concept of a retirement number. If you find out you're not even landing in the same state as your retirement number, we'll look at how to calculate how much you need to invest every month to get there in another episode. In the meantime, keep practicing your cursive.